Operating the receiver in trace mode. Several indicators help you to zero in on a pipe or cable location. The receiver volume changes pitch and is highest when directly over the traced utility. If the sound is too high, you can turn it down by pressing the button twice. Numeric indicators or signal strength coincides with the volume and is also at maximum directly over the lines. Both arrow indicators rely on the receiver handle being in alignment with the cable path. If the path changes direction abruptly, display arrows will point toward the true path and guide you back to it. If the arrows don't display, the signal strength is too weak for detection. You will have to rely on the receiver's volume and signal strength only. A display of two arrows and a bar, together with a beeping sound, indicates you are directly over the trace path. The XTPC uses automatic gain mode as a default when turned on. On the XTPC, use the up or down arrow buttons. Set the gain with the receiver directly over the targeted line. Use the gain control and use the signal strength indicator as a guide. The gain should be set to the lowest setting that still shows a clear peak over the trace path. Good gain setting usually yields signal strength between 200 and 800 on the XTPC model, and between 20 and 80 on the TraceMaster model. As you move away from the transmitter, signal strength drops, and you will have to adjust gain periodically. Locating underground pipes and cables with utility locators involves applying an electrical signal to a conductor, the underground utility, with a transmitter that has been set to a specific frequency, and then detecting that signal with the receiver. There are three basic ways to apply a signal to the utility. In the conductive mode, by connecting directly to the conductor with clips and a ground stake. In the inductive clamp mode, by using a coupler or clamp to clamp around the conductor. And in the inductive mode, by setting the transmitter or inductive antenna over the conductor. The key to getting a strong signal on the conductor is applying the proper frequency. All signals applied to buried lines dissipate into the ground, which means that the signal gets weaker as it gets further away from the transmitter. The main factors that affect signal strength are cable diameter, soil conditions, and signal frequency. Of these, only signal frequency is under the control of the operator. The conductive method for applying the signal means that a direct connection is being made to the pipe or cable being connected, thus identifying the line we're looking for. Proper grounding is important when using the conductive method. The better the ground, the stronger the signal. The transmitter is connected to one end of the conductor and the signal travels along the desired line, goes to ground, and completes the circuit via the ground stake. The ground stake should be as far from the near end connection as possible, and also well away from the trace path. Extending the stake at an offset angle of 90 degrees is usually the best option. Ground stakes can be reset after the actual trace path has been discovered. Now we're going to go through the exercise of locating a signal with a coupler or clamp. Now remember, the coupler or clamp needs to be completely closed to induce the signal. Using passive power frequencies. In passive mode, the transmitter is not used. Instead, the receiver is used to search for 50 or 60 Hz signals, like those produced by energized cables carrying the AC power. Let me demonstrate. In passive mode, it's not possible to distinguish between conductors. The signal could be coming from any grounded conductor, such as buried pipe or rebar, that the nearby power cable has induced the 60 Hz signal onto. Conductive method. To locate telephone cable using the conductive mode, you can apply signal directly with a conductive clip in several different places, including the telephone pedestal, protector box, or targeted cable shield. Using the inductive clamp mode, there are several ways to apply signal. In all cases, there must be a good near end ground for the signal to travel down the cable path. Where the telephone cable is encased in a riser pipe and non-metallic, usually PVC, you can put the clamp right around the riser. Set the transmitter down at this point and return to the original location, making sure you're on the correct trace path. Leapfrogging the transmitter is also a good way to trace cables over a longer distance when the sound is getting weaker or you're losing volume, like now. Here's leapfrogging. Leapfrogging. Review points for telephone locates. 1. Conductive method can be applied at telephone pedestals or junction box, or targeted cables shield. 2. Using inductive clamps requires a good near-end ground, placing clamp on cable or shield just ahead of earth-grounded section. 3. Inductive method by applying transmitter box or antenna over known path. Use of high frequency to achieve better performance.